Recently, a YouTuber called Otterly was exposed for extorting his autistic fans, and some of you guys may be saying, okay, who is this Otterly guy? Well, he is a 400,000 sub YouTube channel that primarily reviews shows and movies and will also criticize conservative media critics like Critical Drinker, calling them grifters. And Otterly has already had many controversies in the past, like him plagiarizing other people's work and coaching his artists to flag down videos that hurt his feelings. Yeah, what an angel. How could he possibly be a bad person? Well, like I said in the beginning, recently Otterly was now exposed for extorting his fans, and the person who actually exposed this first was this guy called Jeff Pite, and the person who actually helped him boost this post was a guy called War Gaming Dad. And the time where this exchange specifically happened was around June 15th of 2026. So it has been 15 days since this happened. And let me tell you this happened way after his apology came out, okay? So yeah, he probably didn't fucking learn this lesson. And it's time to teach him another lesson again. But don't worry, we will read all of these Discord DMs right now. And you could see the person who is the victim in the story, Jeff Planet, decides to talk about some game Neptunia. And I've seen the characters before, but I just don't give a shit about the game, okay? I've seen him because some anime retard accounts like to post them, but that's it. But you could see he's talking about some random shit that I don't care. But for some reason, talking about Neptunia got him kicked out of the server. And you can see over here, Jeff Planet decides to talk to Otterly and says over here, and I got kicked out of the server again. Then Noah decides to respond to it and says, yeah, because you posted lolly stuff apparently. And let me tell you this, the Neptunia character doesn't even look like lolly, just your average anime character. It's just weird that he would accuse Jeff of posting lolly, even if that's very obviously not lolly. And you can see Jeff Planet actually counters this, saying, I did it. So then Otterly decides to say, you sure did. So he actually agrees with saying you did post lolly, even if what he posted was not lolly and he was just talking about the Neptunia games. So for me already, he's trying to find an excuse to kick this person out of the server. But let's continue. And you can see Jeff Planet says, well, lolly stuff, because I was not posting much. And then Otterly over here says, right there, dude, all the Neptune stuff. Only way you're getting back in the server is if you get free rooming while I'm at too many games now. And this is where the extortion begins. So for the main victim of this story, Jeff, to be unbanned from a Discord server, he needs to pay $100 for this bum over here's tickets to too many games. For some reason, Noah could afford enough fucking money to buy tickets to actually be in the event, but cannot pay for a hotel room there. How much of a bum are you to actually take advantage of your fans like this? Don't worry, it actually gets worse. And you can see over here, Jeff Planet over here says, Neptunia is not lolly, it's mo-anthropism. And you can see Otterly says, and since you said you couldn't do that, you're probably not getting back. And you can see he just doesn't give a shit anymore. Like I said in the beginning, he was trying to find an excuse to kick this person out of the server. Now it looks like he was trying to find an excuse to actually extort this individual. And it's very interesting how he doesn't even want a reason anymore. He just wants the extortion. This is obviously fucking evil. This is obvious what it is. You cannot say like, oh yeah, he was fucking around, he's playing around. No, it's very obvious that he wanted something from this individual. And you can see over here, Jeff says, they were discussing if I had bribed my way back into the server before this, and I hadn't posted any new Neptunia stuff beyond my current PFP, and I didn't leak an invite for that troll. This feels like people just want any excuse to insist on kicking me out. Then you could see Otterly says, sorry, but you won't get back in unless you get me free rooms for too many games. And you could see over here, Jeff Piat puts the post for too many games, and you could see Noah says, all right, I respond to him. Then Jeff over here says, KOP is slightly north of Oaks. The hotel is near the mall with the Regal UA Theater. And you can see over here, this person bought the tickets. And you may be saying, okay, who the fuck is retarded enough to fall for this shit? Who is so fucking disabled that they actually fall for this extortion tactic? Instead of saying, fuck off, no, I'm leaving, motherfucker, fuck you. Instead of saying that, no, they actually buy the tickets because they're that desperate to be in this retarded autistic server. Well, later on, you will see who is the type of person that Noah is taking advantage of. And you could see here, Noah continues by saying, all right, but you could easily hook me up with something I imagine. You and your dad. If you want back in the server, ask around. And then Jeff Piat responds to this saying, I am on disability. I don't know that many people. And you could see what I'm saying. Okay? You may say, okay, there's no way someone's retarded to fall for this shit. There's actually an autistic person in this server that's retarded enough to fall for it. And you can't even blame them. And Noah fully knows about that shit. And he's taking advantage. Full on advantage of this individual. Okay? He is actually taking advantage of his mentally disabled audience. Literally, not even a joke. It's literally a mentally disabled person here. And he's taking advantage of them to get tickets to a too many game convention. You could see the levels of being a piece of shit Noah's being right now, okay? And I thought the first drama he was in showed how much of a piece of shit this guy is. This one goes to a whole new other level. And it's crazy. When you see something like this, that if, for example, if you're doing this shit, like saying, oh, you gotta buy me this shit if you're gonna go back in the server. If you see something like this, you're like, okay, I can't do this. This is just fucked up. Like, this person's disabled. This guy gets checks from the government, gets welfare money from them. You know what? This is too fucked up. But for Otterly Noah, he doesn't see anything wrong with this. And actually continues by saying, all right then, do you have Cash App? So, instead of saying like, oh, this shit's fucked up, I shouldn't do this. No, he's like, okay, there's another way that you could give me money to buy these tickets. You see how evil this shit really fucking is? This shit is actually fucking evil. Okay? And this guy will be moral fagging all the fucking time about like, oh, how these conservatives are evil, how they're racist, how they're ableist, how they don't know about anything. And then you could see the type of shit he does behind the scenes. Okay? I don't want to hear this guy ever shit on the Critical Drinker or Megatron or whatever that guy, I don't know what the fuck that guy's called, but I don't want to see this guy ever shit on them and call them pieces of shit. Well, he does shit like this behind the scenes, taking advantage of his autistic audience to buy him free rooms to too many games convention. Yeah. Such a holy person, such a good person Noah is. And you could see over here, Jeff Piat says, yes. And then Otterly Noah says, okay, send me $100 on there right now. I want to make sure you're being legitimate about this, especially after that troll suspiciously came in not long after you rejoined. And then Jeff Piat says, I currently don't have $100. My father is my SSDI pay. And then you could see Noah says, then you should ask him for some money if that's true. You could see he doesn't give a shit. He actually doesn't give a fuck. This guy is worse than pedophiles at this point now. This is actually fucked up. Because this person is literally saying, I don't have the money, dude. I'll go ask my father to give me some money, but I don't have the money. And actually, Noah is not fazed by that shit. He actually is just saying, okay, ask your dad to give the money. Okay, then I'll unban you from the server. You could see how much of a piece of shit Noah's being right now. And he should be fucking confronted by this type of stuff. This shit's awful. This shit is actually worser than the people he criticized. Because I've seen this guy criticizing Nux Taku for being a piece of shit. Criticizing people like Rev said Desu. And I don't like those two individuals either. I believe those two people are all pieces of shit. But it's crazy that he's going out of his way to talk shit about other people, calling them pieces of shit, while he does shit like this behind the scenes. And I know for the Nux Taku stuff, he probably has the same opinion as me, saying like, oh, Nux Taku takes advantage of his fans. Well, he does the exact same shit over here, okay? So he should be fucking called out for this type of stuff, and people should confront him about this. This is fucking horrible. This is actually horrible behavior we're seeing here, okay? Fuck Noah for this shit. Somehow, he saw his original drama where he was literally convincing an artist to flag someone down, to pretty much blame them because he doesn't want to take the accountability, he doesn't want to take the responsibility of being the guy who flagged that guy down. And he was like, I'm sorry for it, I'll never do it again. And then after that, on June 15, 2026, a month later, he does it again. But instead of making other people do his bidding, no, he's now extorting mentally disabled people. Yeah. Here's your good person, sir. Here he is. He's such a moral individual. I can't wait to see his friends sweep this up too. I can't wait to see the copes that people are gonna say about this. Okay, because Otterly Noah with some of his buddies, he's like a man that can't do no wrong because Otterly Noah is also autistic, right? But it's like, this is very obviously, he knew it was wrong. It was very obvious. He should have known. Because he talks shit about other people. He criticizes other people for the exact same shit. And then look what he does. Similar shit to them. Yeah. He's totally a good person. And then over here, you can see Jeff Piat says, and I didn't let anyone in. Did you remember to disable people sending invites other than mods because I feel like I got set up? And then Otterly Noah says, now this is very suspicious. And then Jeff Piat says, I don't get my con money until shortly before the con. My mental health diagnosis has compulsively spending as the issue. Also, I already fund you on every platform right now. And you could see, again, this is the person he's taking advantage of. Somebody who is mentally ill. Somebody who has they compulsively buy everything. And he is saying right now that he funds this guy on every platform, okay? And Otterly Noah sees this and responds to this person saying, you're blaming other people in the server here. Instead of seeing this as a wake-up call, saying, okay, bro, stop giving me money. Focus on, actual life stuff. Focus on improving your life because you do have a mental disability, something that Noah has. I think he's actually fucking autistic. He should have said that. But no. He just doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't give a shit. And this guy will criticize other people for being grifters, other people for taking advantage of their fan base. And over here, this motherfucker decides to take advantage of his own fan base. The gall this motherfucker has to criticize other people for the shit he does behind the scenes. You see why he's such a piece of shit? And you can see over here, Jeff Piat says, Caramel pre-blocked me when I rejoined, then decided immediately I was ban evading. They then discussed that you're too trusting with people. I'm actually going to gift you some things at the con. And then you could see over here, Otterly Noah says, what are you gifting me there? You could see Jeff Piat saying, games you will find out Saturday, and my room might have space for one more person. 2 of us are checking in the day before Friday for early baggage pickup at the Hampton Inn. I have a 1-bed, 1-sofa bedroom. And you could see Otterly Noah says, yes, let me know if there's space. And then you see Jeff Piat saying, but banning everyone close to one troll managing a work invite still looks bad. You can lock down servers invites in Discord so users can't generate them. Also make the links one day or one-time links. And you can see Otterly Noah says, if you have a link, send that also. Perfect. I'll check with that one guy in the server, and if he doesn't respond, I'll use your room. And then you could see over here, Jeff Piat says, good. And then he puts the too many games thing. And if people are looking for tickets. And then you could see Otterly Noah says, true, because I get in free as a guest. I just need to get my plane ticket, and that's about it. And you could say Jeff Piat says, I have no connections there. It's cheaper to fly into ABE than actual Philly. I have no idea how the new troll got in. I wasn't sharing invites and renaming my accounts. Also renamed by old post usernames attached. Searching my current ones shows every post ever being made on the server. Would be nice if the entire server didn't panic when I get back and thinking this was a new alt and immediately thinking you don't know I was in. You can see Otterly Noah says, yet again, with the blaming there. See, this is why you gotta prove you're trustworthy to me right now. And before we end the reading segment, there are a couple more messages I've seen that kind of shows how much of a piece of shit Noah's being in this situation. And let's read them both. And you can see over here, Otterly Noah says this during their conversation. I don't know if I trust that. Ask your dad for money to send me in the next week or 2. I'm happy to pay you back next month, but I need to make sure you're legitimate. And you can see there's another one over here saying, perfect, and I'll be staying for free with you on the floor, right? And you could see all these leaks show how much of a piece of shit Otterly Noah was. Because when I originally saw the drama going down with him flagging people or convincing his artists to flag people down for saying mean things, I thought that was the extent of how much of a piece of shit this guy really was. I just thought this guy was some pussy who decided to do a really retarded decision. And that's what I thought originally. But with the recent shit that just got revealed of him extorting his fans to let them back be in his server, And if they don't do that, they'll never be back in the server. So you have to give him $100 to get a hotel room while he paid enough money to get into the convention. You see, it's even worse with this guy. He's actually more of a massive piece of shit. And this is what I started realizing with this. Maybe he's not just some retard or some pussy, you know, that couldn't take the accountability of flagging people down. Maybe he just doesn't really care about the money, doesn't really care about the tickets. I believe Otterly Noah cares about the power he gets from this. He loves controlling people. That's what I believe with this guy. Because rethink what happened last time with the artist. When he tried to convince this artist into flagging this person down, you could see how it's coordinated, how he loves telling this person what to fucking do, telling them that you have to do this and it's in your right. And you could see over here again, you could see the same shit. He's telling this person, hey, you'll never be let in the server again unless if you give me money to pay for these tickets. It's the exact same shit. And I'm starting to see a pattern of fucking behavior with this motherfucker. He loves control. He loves power. He loves telling people what to do. And if you don't see it, I don't know what to tell you. I see it for what it fucking is. And I believe Noah needs to be fucking excommunicated from that type of community. I need those people to actually not be spineless, actually pull up their pants, have balls, and kick this motherfucker out. Because more of this is gonna fucking happen with this person. I see this person as a ticking time bomb, okay? I see it. And if they don't do that shit, something worse is gonna fucking happen. Okay? And I don't want to hear an apology from Otterly Noah. I don't want to see him making another video talking about how I'm sorry. Because he's not fucking sorry. Because if he was fucking sorry, these messages wouldn't fucking exist. What I want to happen is that he better return this motherfucker his money. He better leave the fucking internet and never come back. That's what this motherfucker should fucking do. But he ain't gonna do. Because this guy, he believes he could control the situation. He believes he could control the narrative. Because he loves power. And he believes that he will win. He believes he will control the narrative. He will believe he could spin it in his own twisted version of it to make himself look like the innocent victim. And I hope people press on him for this shit. I hope his community presses him hard as fuck for this shit. Because this shit's unacceptable. It is. There's no excuse for this shit. And he should just say, I'm going to return the money and I'm leaving. That's it. That's what I want this guy to do. Because he's going to do a decision. He's going to do something that he's going to regret soon. And it's going to happen soon. That's what I believe. So, in the end of the day, Otterly Noah is still the manipulative piece of shit that he always was. And he hasn't changed a single bit from that. So, we have finally reached to the end of this video, and I hope all of you guys give this video a like. I hope all of you guys subscribe to the Mr. Zombie channel. Okay, let's get to 100 subs. Let's get to 200, 500, 1 trillion, 1 billion subs. Okay, we need to get to big numbers. And also, leave a comment. You could say whatever the fuck you want. You could say, oh, you mushmouth piece of shit, Otterly Noah is innocent and fuck you. Or you could say, you know what? Fuck Otterly Noah. He's a piece of shit. You could say whatever the fuck you want. I like seeing different opinions. And after that, I hope all of you guys have a really great June, a really great summer, and a really, really great day. And goodbye.